Broadcasting from the McLaurin Carpet Studios on Central Avenue in downtown Laurel, Mississippi. This is Good Morning Pine Belt with Ben Winpigler on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. Welcome back in on a Wednesday morning. We're having nothing but a good time, just like the song says here on Good Morning Pine Belt. We got a great show ahead of you today, lots to talk about. Coming to you live, as we always do here in the McLaurin Carpet Studios from historic downtown Laurel on a, it's not too hot yet, Wednesday morning, so I'm sure it's coming, though. Don't worry, it's coming. Like I said, we got a great show ahead of you, but before we bring in our first guest of the day, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by our friends over at Bank First. For all of your banking needs, you can go check out Bank First today, bankfirstfs.com. All right, joining us now, as he does every month, we have our good pal Andrew Irwin from the, from FBC Laurel. What's going on this morning, Andrew?
Oh, not much. I'm just glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, you walked in. It's not too hot yet. It feels...
Yeah, I just looked. It's 81, but it's going to get up to 96.
Yeah,
so
it's coming.
Be ready.
It's coming. Well, Andrew, man, I know that last time we talked, we were kind of prepping for the school year and everything, but the school year has now started. I know y'all have all your kids are in school and everything. Everybody seems to be doing good on your end.
Oh, yeah. School started Monday for all the county schools. I know Laurel started a couple weeks ago. But, yeah, all the kids that are in my student group are back in school. Even yesterday I went and talked to the tennis team at West Jones. And, it feels like you're back in the swing of things.
Yeah, back in that routine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love it. And, it is a little hot right now, but that's part of the summer, part of the getting back into the swing of things. But, yeah, it's awesome. And, yeah, we got some good things going on. Like tonight, we're going to have like a little open house for our student ministry. So for parents to come check out what we're going to be doing. And then Sunday night, we have a prayer walk for it's sponsored by First Priority. It's a prayer walk all over Jones County. So if you have a kid at one of the schools, please go to that school and pray from 6 to – obviously, you can pray anytime. But specifically from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., we're going to have a prayer walk on the school campuses. And there should be a youth pastor at each campus to kind of lead that. I'll be at West Jones for that, and, looking forward to that. And then next Wednesday, we have the Jones County Baptist Back to School Rally, which will involve 25, 30 churches all together at South Jones High School this year because we're trying to switch it up from different high schools. Yeah. So we'll be at South Jones this year, and that was always a great time together. So, yeah, we got a lot of things coming up for sure. Yeah, definitely. The start of school is always a big time of the year for youth group events and everything, getting everybody back in. And like you said, that Jones County rally, I remember going to it as a youth. It's always a good time. Always a good time. Oh, yeah, and that's just stuff for the county. And then for us at First Baptist Laurel, we have even more things. Yeah. We got starting August 19th, we're calling it All In Wednesdays. If you're out there and you're listening, yeah, that's right, All In Wednesdays. Really, it's a one-stop place for your family. At 5 o'clock, we have a family meal. At 5:30, students and kids, their events start at that time. And we want to have your whole family there. We have stuff for the adults as well. We have prayer meeting. We also have adult Bible studies. All that stuff, all in Wednesdays, start at 5 o'clock. And so we would love for you to be a part of that. If you have kids, we have kids ministry. If you have students, we have student ministry. And if you're there and you just want to be a part of a Bible study, we have that as well. And if you want a good meal, we have that. So it's all in Wednesday starting August 19th at 5 o'clock at First Baptist Laurel in the Family Life Center is where the meal would be. And then also, if you're a female out there and you're interested in a women's conference, we have one August 22nd at First Baptist Laurel. Miss Shannon Perry will be leading that. And if you are interested in that and you're out there listening, go to our website and you can sign up there. And also you can call our church office and sign up. We would love for you to be a part of that. It's going to be, I think, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is that right?
9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you. I'm glad we had the flyer.
Bree provided this flyer.
Yes, thank you, Bree. 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So, yes, if you want to sign up, I would do that ASAP. I believe it's going to be a worth your time.
Yeah, it looks like lunch is provided.
And lunch is provided. Hey, if you feed them, they will come.
That's right.
So, and it's right before football season. So, for those females who are into football, hey, this ain't going to interfere.
You can still catch kickoff.
Exactly. Go August 22nd, First Baptist Laurel, Shannon Perry. Yes.
Yeah, that looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Like you said, go ahead and get your tickets now. I got a QR code I'm looking at. We'll put this in our window so people can scan it if they walk by. They can go to the website and purchase it, or they can just call the church, I'm sure, too.
That, too.
But yeah, no, that's all in Wednesdays. It sounds like a really good time. I know you said y'all are kind of switching some things up from the way y'all have done it before to get people in on more. And then Sunday nights, y'all are actually going to. I know we talked about it a little bit. Y'all going to a small group model, right?
Yes, and so we started that this summer. May 31st was the first Sunday night, and so just to put some numbers out there for people who are listening, yeah, we went from having on Sunday night just Sunday night service in the sanctuary. Last semester we averaged about 75 people. Now in small groups we're averaging like 180 people involved.
Wow!
So it's something our church has needed and wanted, and I'm glad that we are doing that. We're doing the Experiencing God study, which is an incredible study. But that study is about to end in August, and then after Labor Day we will start a new study starting September 13th, and this study is a little bit more based on the group, and if they get it approved through our pastor and executive pastor, they can study. They can kind of make up their own study. Not make up their own study, but they can kind of provide their own study.
Yeah.
So we have some ideas and some suggestions, but each group can kind of do what they want if they get it approved. But it'll run from September 13th basically till Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this small group model has gone really well. I think it provided an opportunity for people to sit across from each other. And at First Baptist Laurel, we believe that circles are better than rows, meaning it's good to sit across from somebody and encourage them and live out the one another's in Scripture versus just sitting in a row and getting taught by somebody.
Yeah.
That's good. Both are needed, but as far as discipleship, we need more circles than rows. And so that's kind of what our model is, and honestly, it's been really good. And I think everybody's been encouraged and definitely challenged through the study and through this format of Bible study.
Yeah, we've had that model now for several years at Crosspoint where I attend, and it really has always, like you said, it kind of opens up when people are setting in a setting. Do y'all do it at people's homes or in the?
Yeah, so most are at people's homes. We do provide some studies at the church for those who want to do that, and then we also provide many different houses for people to. I mean, obviously, somebody volunteers their house, and then somebody else may be facilitator. Yeah. And that group kind of makes it their own. They can bring food. They can hang out. And I know the study that my wife's a part of, she has gotten to know so many people through that and gotten to know their personalities. I mean, it's one thing to see somebody in a pew on a Sunday morning, and really you don't really get to interact much. You maybe like 5 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Because you're all sitting there together about to worship. But in a small group, there's a lot of kind of organic time of just sitting there, talking to each other, sharing a meal together. And there's something about sharing a meal together that kind of breaks down the walls, and you just kind of get to know people better through that. And so I know the small group she's a part of has been great. And so, yeah, I think it's been a great switch for us. And also because we made that switch, that's why our Wednesday nights are going to look a little differently. But that's why we're calling it All In Wednesday, because we believe that we're not – Wednesday's not just like a leftover thing. No, we want every single meeting that we have to be all in. We want it to be excellent, and so that's why we're trying to push that. And so, yeah, I mean, I definitely encourage anybody out there who's looking for a church, please come give us a try at First Baptist Laurel. There's also great other churches out there too, so it's not just us. But if you are looking and you are in the downtown area or just in Jones County, we would love for you to give us a try, and we hope that you feel welcome and know that God loves you and He has a purpose for your life. Yeah,
man. And I know that y'all do that well. I always tell people, like you said, it doesn't have to be our church. Go to a church where the gospel is being preached and you know that you're getting fed, not just something that you want to hear, but something that you need to hear. Exactly. And you're fellowshipping with other people who are kind of in the same life. And that's why I love the small groups too. You're in the kind of, a lot of times it kind of naturally happens where you're in these groups together where people are kind of in the same stage of life to you, or maybe just a step up like the one we go to. We're actually in a group with some people who are just maybe 5 to 7 years older than us, who have experienced just a little bit more life than us, and they've kind of become mentors to us,
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, and that really does. It makes a huge difference when you can sit in front of those people.
Yeah, and if you're out there and you're listening, and you go to a church that never confronts you in your sin, you probably need to go to a different church.
You definitely need to go to another church.
So I want to encourage you to look and see what church you're part of, or if you're not part of a church, we would love for you to be a part of a church here in Jones County. It doesn't matter if it's Baptist or whatever. As long as they believe the Bible and they preach the gospel, that's what you need to be a part of. And so I would encourage you to be a part of a church if you're out there listening. And, man, God loves you, and he has a purpose for your life. And he sent his son to die on the cross for your sins so that you can have a relationship with him again. And all you have to do is turn from your sins and trust in him. And that's the gospel.
Amen, brother. Amen. Well, Andrew, man, we always appreciate you coming in. Don't forget, everybody, if you're listening, go ahead and get your tickets now for the Pursuing God Women's Conference with Miss Shannon Perry on August 22nd. Go to their website, scan the QR code. You'll see it there. Andrew, man, we appreciate you coming in, and we'll talk to you again next month.
Thank you. Sounds good.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back. Good morning, Pine Belt. Stick around.
In the morning, you're going to need an answer. Ain't nobody going to change the standard. It's not enough to just feel the flame. You got to burn your old self away. Hold on tight a little longer. What don't kill you make you stronger. Get back up, 'cause it's a whole love. You can't change without a fallout. It's gonna hurt, but don't you slow down. Get back up, 'cause it's a whole love. You know the situation can't be.
You're tuned in to Good Morning Pine Belt on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back live here on a Wednesday morning in the McLaurin Carpet Studios. Our thanks to Andrew Irwin there from FBC Laurel for jumping in. Always appreciate him coming in. As I mentioned, we got a great show ahead of you. Got lots more to talk about. Before we bring in our next guest, though, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by Dixie Electric Power Association, a member-owned electric co-op that has the best broadband internet you're going to find. I just saw a thing today. They've got some new updates to their map, so go check it out. See if you're in it. If you're in it, you want to get it, I promise. All right, joining us now is our good buddy from Cooley Labas, the one and only Hunter Jefcoat.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
How are you, sir?
I'm great, man. I think that you and I may have experienced the same thing this morning.
Oh, yeah?
However, we're probably feeling very different about it.
Yeah.
So if I'm correct, and I may be wrong, hopefully not, you had your oldest start pre-K this morning.
I did indeed.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was she was jacked.
She was pumped.
Yeah, I think she was excited.
And did you do the drop-off, or did she go with mom?
No, she went with mom.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
she went with mom.
right.
Did you
Well,
do drop off?
I did drop off. And so what I mean by did the same thing but feeling different is your oldest started. Hey,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Probably got a shot in the arm of no more daycare and different things.
Yeah.
And then my youngest is starting, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I'm already to that point where all my kids are in elementary school.
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
So,
No more in daycare.
I'm feeling a little certain kind of way this morning. Then life is coming at me quick.
It
man.
does, man. It does. You can remember holding them in their arms when they're so tiny, and now they're off to school with their backpack and their lunchbox and
Big brothers and everything else.
Yeah.
Crazy times, but
Indeed. Crazy times all around, man.
We're thankful. We're thankful.
Absolutely. Well,
So-
Hunter, speaking of crazy times, one thing that I always like to do with you is talk about what's going on in the world of the stock market, because if you want to talk about crazy, it's the stock market. You never know up, down, why, this, that. It's just kind of out there.
It's can be a wild thing, and something why we often encourage people, hey, it's not a good thing to look at every day because it's unexplainable on a daily basis, oftentimes. So, but yeah, one thing I'd say, hey, we're up here making all-time highs again after a couple of days, and that's exciting, but that too will change. So what I thought I'd do this morning is make a couple of predictions about the stock market.
Yeah.
No smart or any smart person would never do that, right? So I'm gonna step out on a limb and make a few. And again, that's not a smart thing to do, but we'll come back around that at the end, and I think I can tie the bow together. But one of the things, or one of the main things, really, that drives the stock market over the long period of time, anyway, is corporate profits, right? And in addition to that is the expectations for future, and that's what kind of can get crazy. Is hey, things change, right? But right now, corporations are making a ton of money, and their profit margins are huge, right? And so what I would say about that is, hey, I believe I saw where recently they have hit a 15-year high.
Wow.
And on a percentage basis. And so my wild prediction is I think that's going to shrink.
Yeah,
I think that's going to shrink.
Wow.
I mean, I'm stepping on a limb here, but I think that's going to shrink.
That's a pretty bold prediction.
Am I saying that's going to shrink tomorrow or this year? I'm just saying that's going to shrink at some point.
Yeah.
Right? So what does that mean? Ultimately, that probably means, hey, the growth rate we have experienced or companies have experienced, which inevitably flows into the stock market, is probably going to change a little bit. So there's number one. Since 2007, 8, 9, financial crisis, house bubble, all that kind of stuff. So since 2009, the stock market, or the S&P 500, I'll say, has averaged about 15% per year annualized over time.
Yeah.
Okay. Over the last 100 years, it's averaged about 10%, which is still strong.
Right.
But the last 15, 16, 17 years have been unusually good.
Yeah.
Okay. There have been a few not great years in there, but in general, average 15%. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Every 4.5 years or so, your money's doubling on that level on that average.
Right.
Okay. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So my crazy prediction is it's not going to stay that good.
No.
Okay?
No.
So,
it can never keep going at that rate.
Again, it may continue that for another year, 2, 3 years. I don't know, right? But my longer term prediction is we won't average 15%. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's my second crazy prediction. Excuse me. Number 3, the AI trade in crazy will end.
Yeah.
Okay. Man, many stocks are being impacted that you've never heard of. Some that you have that have just been had incredible growth, right?
Yes.
And that's been awesome, right? But at some point, my expectation and bold prediction is that's going to end.
Yeah, it has to. Yeah.
Well, when you think about the internet, right?
Yeah.
That was unbelievable, crazy. Changed the world.
Right.
It did.
Yeah.
This not too many years ago, cloud computing changed the speed of things. It was crazy. Everything is now on mobile phones, and you've got to have mobile capabilities and all that. It's changed the world.
Yeah.
Similarly, I think AI is changing the world, and it will.
Yeah.
But at some point, it's just going to become the normal.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So.
And once it becomes normal, the crazy stops.
It's just right, in line with everything else, right? So, again, it's a wild ride right now, a lot of big swings and a lot of uncertainty, honestly, about how the impacts may impact everybody. But that's number 3. And then number 4 is just, you hear a lot about the Mag 7 and the, biggest 7 companies in the world and that kind of thing. My crazy prediction is going to be that the top companies will rotate, and we'll see some other mammoths, and they'll be great companies, but there will be bigger companies than what's there at the top. If you look back at year 2000, the only one left of the top 10 in year 2000 is Microsoft.
Really? I was going to say Walmart.
So Walmart's still a great company, but their market cap overall is not nearly as big as some of these tech companies, essentially,
right.
and others. But so Microsoft's the only one still standing 25 years later. So, and again, over time, they're still going to be great companies, more than likely, but there's going to be new innovation and different things.
Yeah.
So, all in all, Ben, those 4 predictions in reality are not that crazy.
No,
right?
no.
Not that crazy, and I think everybody would agree with that. So my point in saying that is this. Actually, I got a quote I had seen from a guy named Howard Marks, investor guy, who said, if you name a price, don't name a date. If you name a date, don't name a price, and then you'll never be wrong. In essence, hey, if you've got a plan, stick to it.
Yeah.
And ultimately, if it's a long-term plan, just stick with it.
Let it
ride. And don't freak out when the chaos happens. We know things are going to change. Unexpected things are going to happen. Stock market's not going to continue to make every new highs every day for the next forever, right?
Yeah.
So we want to encourage people, don't get lulled to sleep and you win every day, everything's great.
Right.
Manage your risk into ultimately what your financial plan is and what you're trying to accomplish, and be comfortable with that, because one day things will change. So, so in essence, that's my short encouragement to people is, hey, stick with the plan.
Right.
Don't get sucked into, FOMO type stuff.
Yeah, the next big greatest thing.
Because you really just need to understand your risk capacity, your need for risk, those things where ultimately that you can just be comfortable in your investment strategy and plan. So,
yeah, and that's important because, we've talked about this a lot of times. Everybody's in a different stage of life, whether they're near retirement, starting their investment journey. And you got to, like you said, and I know we've talked about this before, you kind of start it and you want to, like you said, stick with it, because if you start trying to get into these everything, hey, this is the next great thing, this is the next great thing, you ride that and you're playing this and then the risk and it falls. If you just stick with a plan and stay with it, in the long run, it's gonna work out.
In essence, that's exactly it. Because what we tell people, say the best plan is one you can stick with.
Yeah.
Right. If you ran off and jumped in SpaceX at $200 today, you're lost 50% of your money, basically, right?
Yeah.
And a year and a half ago, if you were buying Bitcoin at 120, you've lost 50%. And those are the FOMO type trades of hey, get rich quick. And I'm not saying don't, take some level of risk, but understand what you can
once in a while.
Understand what you can stomach and what could change your plan, right? And that's the key, man, because again, sometimes long-term boring things get you where you want to be a lot more smoothly and confidently. So
not quite the roller coaster ride that you can if you try to ride the next great thing.
That's right. You don't have to. A lot of times you don't have to have the stomach aches along the way.
That's right. Well, Hunter, we have ran out of time, man, but I always enjoy it, because what I've always picked up on is that you guys at Cooley Labas, you don't just give, hey, this is how it can help us. We're in this. Y'all are in this for the long haul.
Amen, man. We're relationship driven and want what's best for the people that are willing to trust us, and that's different for every person. And we're thankful for the opportunity that the people we get to work with, and would welcome. If you'd like to discuss your situation with us, please reach out. You can certainly find us on the internet. Phone number 601-440-1050. And I would welcome the opportunity to have a conversation.
There you go. Hunter Jefcoat, Cooley Labas. We're actually going to talk to Hunter again here in a little while. So stick around. Good Morning Pine Belt. We'll be right back.
We're back to Good Morning Pine Belt. SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right. We're back here on this Wednesday morning. Good Morning Pine Belt, coming to you from the McLaurin Carpet Studios. Our thanks to Hunter Jefcoat with Cooley Labas Financial, giving you some bold, not so bold market predictions there. Before we bring in our next guest, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by our friends over at Community Bank. Go check out Community Bank today for all of your banking needs. CommunityBank.net. They'll treat you, they're just that. They're a bank that is local, that is based in the community. They're going to know who you are, and they're going to take care of you today. CommunityBank.net. All right, we are on the final leg of our high school coach tour, I guess you would call it, talking to our high school coaches across Jones County as we get ready for another great season of football here in Jones County, which will all be aired right here on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3. I'm telling you, this is one of my favorite times of year. As I've worked this job now, I've really realized how much fun, I always knew, but really how much fun Jones County football is. And today is no exception. Today we have Coach Ryan Earnest. He is the head coach of Laurel High School. And Coach Earnest, as the Danger Zone with Kenny Loggins bumped us into the segment here, I felt that it was appropriate as we get into football season, because when you go in between the bricks, you're going into the Danger Zone.
Absolutely.
Well, Coach Ernst, I know that we've talked a lot over the last couple of years, but one thing that I've asked the last few coaches is, as we get into the start of this season, I want to look back and to what happened, what last season looked like for you guys. Obviously, it feels like it's been kind of the same song and dance for the last couple of years, where you start off on a really tough schedule. You play everybody really tough. You may not come out the way you want it. And then, man, when district play ramps up, there y'all are.
I mean, it's what we've always done. If you look back over the last several decades, we always try to play a really tough non-district schedule.
Yeah.
I think it reveals a lot about our kids. It reveals a lot of who they are physically, but it also reveals a lot about who they are from a character standpoint.
Yeah.
And I have been extremely pleased with the resilience that these kids have shown consistently over the last few years. Now, obviously, when we schedule them, we want to win them all.
Right.
But they aren't really losses. We try not to call them losses. They're lessons.
Yeah.
And so by the time we get done with our non-region schedule, there really are no surprises.
Right.
We've been stretched and challenged in pretty much every facet of our football team. And so we know kind of the things that we can lean on, and we also know the things that we need to get a little better at by the end of the non-district schedule. So it's what we do at Laurel. It's the expectation. Yeah. Our kids understand that, but they also understand that's just a part of the season.
Right.
And the non-district schedule doesn't make the season.
Right.
So, and I told them last year we're getting ready for the South State Championship. I said there are a lot of 12-win teams that would trade places with you right now.
Absolutely.
And so our goal is to play 14 games and win the last one,
That's
whatever that looks like.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we'll get into a lot in that to a minute, but y'all schedule this year is certainly tough, and we'll talk all about that. But want to look back again just a little bit in the last year. Obviously, y'all ended really well, but let's maybe talk about some of the guys that you lost from last year that maybe you're like, hey, this is going to hurt us a little bit, and then how you're retooling for this year.
Oh, well, obviously, last year's senior class was a phenomenal senior class, and not just from the aspect of how good of football players they were. They were great people.
Yeah.
Those were kids that were at the top of our class academically, great examples for and ambassadors for our school district from a achievement standpoint. Guys like Zachariah Jenkins, who's a freshman at Memphis right now, Tamaj Harris, who will be starting at Belhaven, Jordan Burgess, who's at East Mississippi, R.J. Ward, who's at Pearl River, just quality kids that obviously we'll miss because of their abilities on the field, but also the leadership and the character that they brought to our football team. But our kids understand that's just the way it goes. When people leave, it's our job to replenish what we miss from within.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not coming from the outside. So what we lose, our kids understand that there's an expectation to fill our own cup.
Yeah.
And that's their responsibility. And so while we lost and we graduated a great class, we're really excited about the 2026 version of the Laurel Golden Tornadoes.
Absolutely. All right, so let's jump into this year. I know we've talked a little bit off air. Y'all's have been in school for a couple of weeks, but y'all have had your summer practice. You're kind of into practice now. What are you seeing out of the guys so far? I know y'all won't start full pads and everything for another week or so, but what have you seen out of you guys so far?
I've been really excited about how they've attacked the first 2 days of practice. Obviously, in South Mississippi, the heat is always a concern, but I've been really pleased with their approach so far. We've tweaked some things in terms of our day-to-day operations, and they've been they've embraced that and attacked it every day. And so just really proud of our upperclassmen and how they're leading, and the underclassmen and how they're accepting that leadership. We've kind of retooled our coaching staff, have been really excited with the additions and the energy that they're bringing to our program. And so it was a really good spring. We've had a really good summer, and we've been excited about the first couple of days of practice.
Absolutely. All right, so let's look into the schedule here. Y'all are, we just talked about it. Y'all are starting your year off tough like you always do. But obviously the first regular season game is going to be tough, but a lot of times people overlook jamborees, and I'm just looking at the jamboree. Y'all couldn't have a tougher opponent all year.
Absolutely. Derek Carter's a great friend of mine at Heidelberg. He has done a phenomenal job with that program. Again, it's just about having opportunities to understand exactly what it is that we need to be and the things that we need to work on going into the regular season. We've got a really tough opponent opening up, a county rival with West Jones, and so we need to have an idea of exactly where we stand. And you can't always get that at practicing against each other. Because you go against each other so much every day that a lot of times,
you kind of know what they're going to do.
You don't get an accurate depiction. So being able to play a program of that caliber, who's had the amount of success that they've had the last couple of years, I think it's going to do a good job of allowing us some really good film, really good tape to evaluate that Sunday and have a good idea of exactly who we are at that point in the season going into a very tough West Jones team.
Absolutely. All right, so let's talk about your guys. I know it's always tough, but I've asked all the coaches this. I know it's always tough for coaches to single out specific players, but from your eyes, if you could give us maybe just a couple of guys that as we get into the season and be like, hey, you really need to look for this guy as we go throughout this season.
It always starts with any team, regardless of what your scheme is. I think it always starts with a quarterback.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to have a young man who's going to his third year as a starter in our program, who's still an underclassman. He's taken a lot of snaps for us, Bryson Bivens.
Yeah.
It starts with him. I mean, so goes a quarterback, so goes a team. And,
most important position in sports.
So we're fortunate enough to have that amount of experience coming back. Obviously, we've got some really good players out on the perimeters. Adrian McCormick is a kid that he's 6'4", 6'5", really long, really good football player. A guy that's been in our program for a while now, understands what our expectations are. Gerard Barnes, who's an offensive lineman who's played a ton of snaps for us.
I was going to ask you about the O-line, man.
Our offensive line this year, really excited about it. It's a nice blend of experience and young athleticism, and so we're really excited about that aspect of our football team. Defensively, it's going to be a typical Laurel football team. We're not going to be very big, but we're going to be extremely fast. Look for guys like Harlem Cochran and Dale Wyndham, Tavion Wolverton, guys that have had really good springs, really good summers, who consistently making plays in our live competition periods. And so look for big seasons out of those guys. Obviously, with any team, health is always a caveat. So if we can keep our guys healthy, do a good job of taking care of them, really like the first 11 that we're going to put on the field from an offensive and defensive perspective.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask about the O-line because I don't know what y'all are feeding your O-linemen over there at Laurel, but it seems like every year you're pumping out D1 talent on that O-line.
Absolutely, and I think that that's a testament to first of all, the kids, and they understand the expectation that comes with playing that position. Kudos to Coach William Clay, who's moved on, has taken a role as offensive coordinator at Wayne County. But he did a wonderful job of preparing those guys, and we are really excited about our new offensive line coach, Coach Logan Lisenby, coming to us from Texas. And so really excited about where he's going to take that position group going forward.
Yeah. Well, Coach, with the last minute or so here, I've asked the coaches this before too. Change the subject a little bit, but in this culture right now, in college sports specifically, especially in football, it's me, 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 me. Everything's about me. How much money can I get? That's all the kids ask when they go to colleges. I know it's trickling down into high school. I know it has to be. How do you keep your kids focused in a culture like that?
I think we just have to continue to, again, hammer home the idea that this is our mantra at Laurel High School in athletics is family. Yeah. And it takes us all. And I understand that, outside the building, it's like you said, it's me, me, me. But, we try to focus on the big picture. Yeah. The things that are important to us. And we use those words like we, us, together, and it's not just something we say, it's something that we try to live in every aspect. Again, we're only responsible for the 8, 9, 10 hours we have them, so we have to do a really good job of hammering that home. It should do a really good job of doing it.
I'll say this, one thing that I have noticed about just all the Jones County schools is that all the athletes that we have, and that this is a testament obviously to you coaches, is that all the athletes seem to be very grounded in what they're doing. It's not about them. It's about the team. If they get the accolades, great. If not, they want the team's success. I've really noticed that across the board.
Yeah. One of our, we have a thing we call the 7 F's of success. And one of ours is family. Yeah. And one of the byproducts of that, one of the things we hammer home to our kids is just the ability to celebrate your teammate.
Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. Well, Coach Ernst, I could talk to all 4 of you coaches for an hour, but, man, I'm excited for high school football. I'm excited we'll be at the first game between the bricks there when y'all play West Jones on that Friday, so we're excited for that. And I'm excited. I know y'all are going to get into the playoffs. The first half of the season, we'll see what that looks like. But I know you want to win them all.
Absolutely.
So, absolutely. Well, Coach, best of luck this year. I'm excited for it, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again real soon.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. All right, when we come back, we'll wrap it up with another event happening next week in Laurel. Stick around. Good Morning Pine Belt. We'll be right back.
This is Good Morning Pine Belt on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.
All right, good morning, Pine Belt. We are back here. Final segment on a Wednesday morning. Appreciate Coach Ryan Earnest from Laurel High School coming in. A great man, getting ready for a great football season here in Jones County. We're going to have lots more to talk about that, don't worry. Before we bring in our final guest of the day, I want to mention that this segment of Good Morning Pine Belt is brought to you by, you guessed it, K-Rocks in Ellisville, just down the road there on Highway 11. Go check them out, krocksfoods.com. All right, joining us now for our final segment is Hunter Jefcoat is back with us over here. He is now
back like I never left.
I guess who's back again. He's joined now, though, by Mr. Joe and Miss Jean Johnson there, and they were with Highland Church there, a place that I know and love and grew up with. But Mr. Joe, I'll kind of start with you. I know y'all have a really cool event, conference, seminar, whatever. I guess you're calling it a seminar, coming up next weekend. Tell us all about it.
Yes, and thank you, Ben. We're having a marriage enrichment seminar called Love That Lasts, and it's going to be on Friday, the August 14th in the evening. We're going to have a meal involved, and then it will be on Saturday morning, and it's going to be a great time for people that, whether they're newlyweds or been married 70 years, they would enjoy this, and it would help their marriages and be a fun time.
Absolutely, and it looks like y'all have got some pretty good guest speakers there.
Yes, we have Scooter and Allison Nolan. She's very involved in Wind-Shaped Marriage, and we heard them. That's one of the reasons we wanted to bring it back to Laurel. It was such a great event that we went to. And I promise anybody that will come, it will benefit, and it will be a blessing to them.
Absolutely. Well, Hunter, I know we were talking just a little bit off air about this, and Mr. Joe mentioned it, but y'all went to this conference, and clearly y'all learned a lot.
I think, yes, and I think for what was encouraging to me, and we've been to, Windshape a couple of times, and I think what we found as far as Natalie and myself is, if we want to have not just an okay or good marriage, we want to have a great marriage, we've got to sacrifice some things and be intentional about it. And these types of seminars and times to get with, Mr. Joe and Miss Jean that have been married 50 plus years, and then experts that have been, doing this for a long time and learning, and, just taking little nuggets away to say, hey, here's some ways we can, grow in our marriage. And ultimately, I think for us, it's just been in the chaos and busyness of life to say, hey, let's just slow down for a minute and really reflect on where we're at, where we're wanting to go, and how is the Lord's plan for our marriage? How are we doing right now? Are we on that path? So those types of things is really kind of the why of I think why Highland is doing this and wanting to offer that, to say, hey, we care about marriages. And this is an opportunity to invite people to say, hey, we need to be intentional about it.
And Miss Jean, I'll bring you in too. I know we were talking off air, and Mr. Joe mentioned that this is obviously for all ages, but this is not just for anybody who's a member of Highland. This is anybody.
Yes, it's open for anybody in the county, state, whatever. And you could have been married like Joe and I, almost 56 years, or just getting ready to get married, or just newlywed.
Yeah.
For us, as older, having been married this long, it's a refresher course, a reminder how God He put us together, and He's kept us together.
Right.
And so it's just a refresher course and a reminder what God can do if you build your marriage around, biblical principles, what He will do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Mr. Joe, I know that's really the kind of the goal of all this. Obviously, it's not to just strengthen people's marriages just in general, but strengthen them in Christ, right?
Oh, absolutely. And, we want to build a stronger marriage based around the Lord. But, the pace of life and what Hunter was saying, we can just sort of get in a rut. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if y'all remember the definition of a rut. A rut is just a grave with both ends knocked out. So we need to focus and be intentional about our marriage, have some fun in our marriage again, and this is going to be a great event to remind ourselves of that.
Absolutely. Well, Hunter, I know that there's a small cost involved, but I know there's some lunches. And tell kind of about the ways to register.
Yeah, so you can go to our website, highlandchurch.net, I think it is, or call our office is probably even a better way. And the number is 601-428-8493. And register that way. The reason we appreciate people to register is we are preparing a dinner on Friday night.
Yeah.
Things start at 5:45. We'll have dinner available for about 45 minutes there, and then we'll start getting things kicked off. And then a light breakfast on Saturday morning will also be available. So it's $20 per couple. If you can register, there is a way to pay online. We'll accept payment at the door. And if you forget to register, come on.
Yeah.
We're not going to turn people away. We want people to experience it and be encouraged in their marriage. I think whether you're on the rocks or feel like your marriage is really good, hey, we want it to be great. We want it to be better, and I think we would all agree there's always ways to improve and grow. And I feel like probably a lot of your audience is men, and men, what a way to step in and lead and love your wife. Come on, sign up and join.
You won't be embarrassed, men. We're not. A lot of guys say, "Oh, I don't want to talk my deep dark secrets." That's not going to happen. Don't worry about it.
There you go. Well, we really appreciate y'all coming in. That's coming up next Friday and Saturday. Go register now. We'll have a flyer in our window where you can scan that there or go to highlandchurch.net. But thank y'all for coming in.
Thank you, man.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, well, that does it for Good Morning Pine Belt for this. Hey, real quick, want to remind you, this Saturday, the Boys and Girls Club of Covington County is hosting a golf tournament. There's still sponsorships available. Reach out to somebody in that organization now. Until then, we'll talk to you next week. But until then, keep it dial right here on SuperTalk Laurel 99.3.